Hi, my name is Pam Blasco and I'm from Dream Come True Farm. I'm going to attempt to show you how to spin yarn on a spinning wheel. I've done a drop spindle video and I've gotten a lot of feedback where it's helped people accomplish their spinning on a drop spindle. So I thought the next step would be to try to show someone how to start spinning on a spinning wheel. This is my Ashford traditional spinning wheel. It's one of my favorites that I use for spinning. I have a number of wheels, but ultimately I always go back to this one. I have the larger head on it, which spins 8 ounces of wool, so it gives me a lot of yardage. If you're brand new at spinning, I like to have people come in and just get the feel of the wheel. I spin barefooted because I feel that you can feel the wheel much better under your feet while barefooted. So what I do is I have people come in and just treadle the spinning wheel at a nice slow pace, because beginners tend to want to treadle fast. And the problem with that is you can't keep your hands up in the beginning, drafting and spinning. You'll get a lot of over twists. So the key is a nice, even, slower treadle. Now I'm treadling at this rate, and I like to tell people to stop and go. And you want to go clockwise all the time. And I tell them to use their hand to get the wheel going in the same direction. Because you need to spin in the same direction, obviously, just like on a drop spindle, or your yarn will spin backwards and spin off the wheel if you go back and forth, which is a common thing when you first start. So you treadle, practice treadling for a few minutes, and then when you think you have that, and it could take 10 or 15 minutes or an entire evening, stop and go and get it going at a nice speed. Then you're ready to start spinning. Now you need a leader line on your wheel, which is just nothing but a piece of yarn. Got a little tangled here. You put the leader line through your eyes on your spinning wheel, or you may just have a hook, and you should have a hook to pull your yarn through with. You put it through the orifice and pull it through, and then you've got yourself a little piece of yarn here. You could make it longer if you'd like. I'm starting with this shorter piece today, but usually I like to have it a little longer. So for ease starting, you can make your leader line a little longer. Then to attach your roving, which roving is a little easier to learn to spin on than raw locks, I believe. It's just my opinion. But you have a nice roving, and you'll draft a little bit of it out, and you can attach it to the leader line by just overlapping and spinning. And just like on the drop spindle, it's going to begin to spin, and it'll catch your roving and put a twist into it. Now you can see I'm going nice and slow, and I actually feel there's a little too much tension on this wheel, so I'm going to loosen it a little bit. Now I'm assuming that you know your wheel a little bit and that you can adjust it, and you've got it set up and you're started to spin a little bit, and this is really just a tips video. So again, we'll start to spin clockwise, and what I'm doing here is I'm drafting out a certain amount of roving, which determines the size of the yarn that I'm going to be spinning. And this is a light worsted weight yarn that we'll spin today. When I draft, I'm actually pulling both hands apart gently. So I'm drafting out the same amount all the time, and I'm letting the twist travel, which I think you can see. And if you can keep up with the twist with your fingers and not let the twist past your fingers, then you'll only spin what you draft out. See, I'm keeping, there's the drafted out part, and I'm keeping up with the twist. I'm traveling with it, and then I pinch it off so that it doesn't spin this big piece and get ahead of myself, get ahead of my left hand, because then it will, I'll get a big slub or a big chunk in it, which at other times you might want if you're spinning a fun, artful type yarn. So we'll get it to go clockwise again, and then you draft slowly. My feet are going fairly slow at a nice pace, a nice comfortable pace, And when I'm pulling, I'm actually going like this. Not that you can really see it that clearly, but that is what I'm doing. So I'm kind of pulling it apart, and I'm trying to pull the same amount out. And then I can stop if I feel that it's getting away from me or I'm getting a little frustrated. Don't feel that you have to. Sometimes I believe beginners feel they have to keep on spinning, that there's no stopping. But stopping to gather yourself up is definitely recommended. So I'm drafting it out slowly. And I'm keeping up with that twist with the forward hand, which is my left hand. And if you're more comfortable doing it the other way, then, see, I'm not that coordinated with doing it that way. But you may be. There's no right and wrong way. Your left hand can be forward or your right hand can be forward.